record on this computer. And he says, Footy, she's
Yeah, but
pretending? Yeah.
mm, pretending, as you said.
So. This bubble right here will be for you, Cookie.
Yep. 本当のバカって、必死にノート取って、先生に質問して、変えても勉強してるのに、芸のやつだろう。I'm trying to think about this one for a moment because it was pretty big. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it's like, excuse me, um, if she really, it's something like if she's really that stupid, then um, she's frantically like taking notes in class, um, asking questions, and then going home to study. That's the sort of person she seems to be. Is that right?
Seems to be isn't in the sentence, but yes, that's what he's saying. He says true idiots are those lowly guys that are studying all the time, even when they go home, and asking the teacher questions, and taking all the notes in their notebooks. That's who are the true low idiots are. So he's basically saying because this is what stupid people do, obviously Azuki must not be doing that. But it's not written in the sentence. And he says, ah, ma. He says, well, yeah, I guess so. Azuki wa keisan janaku su de onna no ko shiteru n da. So he says, Azuki, she is a acting as a girl without
A
cal-
plan.
without a plan, basically, without doing any kind of calculations. She's just plainly being, this is what a girl acts like without thinking about it. 意味わかんねえよ。わかりやすく話せよ. And he says, I don't really know why. It probably, so, sorry, this guy's saying, I don't know what, I don't understand what you're talking about. Can you, speak, in a way that's easier to understand? Next one here will be for you, Cookie.
Yep. So it's like, なんていうのかなおしとやかに、ぎょthat says 行儀 is that right? 行儀よ
はい。
くするのが、女の子らしい。それが一番ってのか、あ、し、自然に身についてて。Okay, so this one will take me some time. Uh, so that's what you say it is like.
なんていうか
That's the
な
first line.
how should I put it? なんていうか
Oh, yeah.
な I wonder,
I,
translating it, what should I say?
yeah. And then it's, uh, she's like, she seems like a girl with, who behaves well and is like gracefully doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, that is like the number one, um, nature of like it's one of the things you
She's
want
doing
to
mini
master. It's
tsukete.
desirable
What does mini tsukeru mean?
to master or like to have a habit of.
Yeah, exactly. So she's doing this in a certain way. She is giving off these vibes from mastering it in a very like she doesn't look like she's doing it on purpose, right? She's doing it very naturally is what that
Yeah,
she's in thing. So she's naturally coming off as the number one very girly type of vibes.
that's right.
女の子だから真面目な方がいいけど、勉強は中くらいでいい。できすぎても可愛くないって感覚生まれきり持ってんだ。So because I'm a girl, it is good. It's really good to be acting very earnest. And it's also totally fine to have your grades in around the middle section. If you do it too much, as in your grades are get done too well, then it's not cute at all. That is the kind of sensation that she's been with the whole that's like the vibes that she's been holding with herself this whole time. And
Mhm.
these two bubbles right here will be for you, Cookie.
それって賢いってことだろう。Uh, is like, that's really like clever or like well thought of from you, that sort of
Mm.
thing.
So this right here, the speech bubble, is pointing like this, which does make it a little hard if he's at him or this guy. I would say in this context, it's pointing to his hand to say it's Takagi saying that. So,
Okay, fair
それって
enough.
賢いってことだろ? Which is like, so isn't that being clever?
Fair
So he,
enough. Being
right.
clever so as to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Mr. Saiko says, uh, 深読みしすぎじゃね? It's like, aren't you reading it into it too much?
Perfect. じゃないよ。あずきは頭いいから、あんなに魅力的なんだ. He says, nope. Azuki is so smart, so she has that kind of charming point to her. So, saying for sure. あずきの家だろ Yeah, sorry. Azuki no ie mitaro? Didn't you see Azuki's house? おや、何してるのか知らないけど、あんな家、何かにたけてなきゃ立てない。それとも、sorry, I'm gonna put it right there first. I don't really know what her parents are doing, but with a house like that, there's no way the house, they wouldn't have such a big house like that if they were not like someone like well-to-do, basically is what that's saying. それとも、悪事働くか、悪事してても捕まってないだから、すごいじゃん. And he says, on top of that, if instead they were doing something like working some kind of dark job, right, rather than being like a well-to-do businessman, they're actually like the mafia. The fact that they, even
Mm.
though they're doing mafia stuff, they have not been captured, isn't that also amazing? 血だよ, 血. So he says it's because her blood proves that she has to be super smart because her house is so nice. Because the only way you get that house
Yeah,
is either your
so
family is amazing. I don't know if they're amazing as in actually amazing or amazing as in they're evil. Either way, they got a big house.
yeah, there's a lot less pressure to succeed in school if your family's already well to do.
In some ways.
In some ways, yes. Okay.
Cookie.
And it says, excuse me, また違いを、父親ができる人だから、その子供、子供も頭いいがか。And it's like, 単、単純な、単純な発想だけど、親ってのはあるよな。Um, again, it must be like their blood. The dad on the dad's side, or just the dad, he's a guy who can do stuff. Um, so that kid is also like intelligent or has to be intelligent. And then it's like Tanjun, which means simple. And it's like um it's a simple idea, although um although it's just their parents. That's my guess.
The last part is basically what I said. It's just their parents. These right here, you
Yeah.
translated it right, but you kind of were ignoring these kas, which are kind of give
Yeah.
it a different vibe, right? So it's like you're still talking about blood. So you're saying because the dad can do things that her child must also be smart. I see it's a very simple idea you're having, but that's the thing, the parents thing, right? Uh, so that part right there, you got the vibes perfect. These vibe was slightly
Mm,
lost, but the cause are basically saying
fair
like
enough.
that's really what you're talking about. But that's like hard
Yeah.
to do. These are hard sentences.
Yeah, they're pretty
俺、
tough.
1万円さすぎだけど、福沢諭嫌いってさ。So, I'm not saying, I love a lot of money, but I also don't dislike wealthy people, maybe? I don't know what that is saying. Fukuzawa Yuchi? I feel like it's a name. Fukuzawa. Yeah, nothing popped up. So that's someone's name. So he says, I
Yeah.
hate these people, but I don't mind really rich people. Because satsu is the word for dollar bills. Um, uh, 天は人の前に人を作らず、人に下に人を作らず。なんて本に買っちゃいて、だったらいいのにねってちゃんとつけろっても。So this right here is a quote that probably the person he hate, this Fukuzawa Yukira, this person here probably said this quote. And he says, I hate this quote. I think that the book, should really have written after this quote the word saying dattara ii no ni ne, saying even if that's the case, then it's fine, rather than saying that. Uh, so I believe this is saying uh, heaven is not built by the people on top, nor is it built by the people on the bottom. I think is what it's saying.
Mm.
Ue no hito, people on top, these are the ones that are not building heaven, and the people on the bottom are the people who are not building it as well. Um, I probably need more like culture notes to be able to like accurately translate it, but I don't care. Anyway, next bubble will be for you, Cookie.
わかるよ。人間作ってるの、あ、天じゃなく、天じゃなく親だし、生まれた瞬間から親だけで、どんだ、どんだけ差が、あ、しよ、しょ、生じてるんだって。Okay,
So before you do
so it's
that,
like
I'm gonna go back to this one and say this was replacing ga. So it says heaven does not build the people for people to be on top, nor does it build the people for people to be on the bottom.
hmm,
I thought it was saying speaking of heaven, using that as a thing, but it says heaven does not build people for basically saying heaven does not build rich people nor poor people. It just builds people maybe.
and who's that coming from?
This is Fukuzawa Yukichi.
Oh, no, no, no. Who said the dialogue as in the
Oh,
book, yeah,
the
not in the
the
manga?
first person is Takagi and the second person is Cycle.
Yeah, so Takagi said that, just making sure in case I,
Hmm.
lost track of that. So it's like, haha, wakaru yo, which means, all right, I get it. Um, uh, making humans, um, uh, is not only, well, sorry, not, it's not only, but it's,
Let's
it
start
is not
here.
like a sky parent. I don't know.
Positive. It says 人間作ってるのは親だ. What does that
Yeah.
mean?
That's a parent thing to make humans.
So this yes. The one who builds humans is parent. So no is the one, right?
Yeah.
And then added to that we got 天じゃなくて. What does that mean?
Which means not heaven.
Not heaven. It's not heaven that builds the humans. It's your parents, and
Yep. And in the from the moment that you are born, or like one human is born, um, only the parent, um, only the parent. I'm trying to figure out what the sa kanji is trying to say.
It's the degree of differences in this context, I would say, between people, right? So the
Yeah,
parent, they're the one who is growing their child. And when your child grows, there's different levels of children. You have children who get F's in classes and children who get A's. You have ugly children and pretty children. And this right
yeah,
here is decided based off of like the level that your child grows into, right? Is basically decided just because of what your parents do in some extent, is what it's saying. So just with
fair
your
enough.
parents, that already tells you what level you're going to be growing at, the human that they built.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, they're so convoluted. In my defense, they get better later on because they start talking about manga rather than like this girl, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah.
I'm enjoying it still.
Yeah, that's good. That's kind of like the comedies that they're just talking about absolute nonsense. Like,
Fair
um,
enough.
声優目指してるってのだって、今の女の子にありがちな夢を自然にチョイスして、その夢見る乙女を最大限に楽しんでるくらいにしか思えない。Um, so he says, so about her aiming to be a voice actress. Um, this is a dream that girls these days don't really feel like they have the chance of doing that. I believe it's what the arigachi means. I should double check that. Arigachi. Oh, it's a common dream. Never mind. So it's a very normal dream for girls to have in order to aim to be a voice actress, and it's really not unbelievable that she would find the idea of aiming for that dream for the utmost limit because she has such a well-to-do family that she's not like. So most people be like, "Oh, I want to be a voice actress, but it's impossible for me because I'm a normal person." Her, because she comes from
A
such a
norm.
she's not a normie. She's like, "Oh, it's normal to want this, but I can make it come true because I come from a well-to-do family." So because of that, it's a
Yeah.
natural choice for her to make. Um, um, 俺たちみたいに将来とか切羽詰まったものは何も感じてないよ. And he says, so there's really no vibes that she's working as hard as she can for something like her future, like we are. So we are working as hard as I can for like our future. We're like really studying, but she doesn't really have that same vibe going off of her. And he says, 女の子だから because she's a girl. And next panel right here will be for you, Cookie.
Okay. そう、女の子だからが、わかってるんだ。かわいいお嫁さんに、なるのが、女の一番の、sorry, I need to
幸せ.
幸せ. I thought that was a bit in kanji. Sorry, katakana, just making
You
sure.
won't ever
Uh,
see katakana as furigana.
yeah, just in case. 幸せって、幸せって生まれながらに思っている。Okay. Um, so, because
So,
she's a girl, so to say, that I'm saying, um,
wait. そう、
I
女の子
think,
だからが分
sorry,
かってるんだ. What does that mean?
I think wakateru here means I understand that.
Yes.
I
I
can.
understand it.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
it's because she's a girl that I understand
Yeah, I'm not gonna let Yomitana confuse me here. Uh,
it.
a cute wife? No,
Right.
no.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Like
になる。
becoming a cute wife
はい。
uh is like the number one happy thing for a woman. And by nature,
うん。う、
it's
う、it's not really by nature. It's more like it's basically just something you think since you're like a child, right?
yeah, so by
The
nature.
oh, but that's nurture though,
Or naturally.
right? That's
Yeah.
nurture. If it's by you
Okay.
wouldn't think that by nature, that's your culture. You're not born out
Okay.
of it's just since you're a baby is what it's saying here, but it's not like by nature. Just I guess I'm thinking too deeply of what that word means. But nurture versus nature, this is
Yeah, I
definitely
can.
nurture in this context.
Okay, sure. By birth. The omoteru. That's what they think from birth, so
Hmm.
to say. Um, and then it's like, それまではいや、結婚しても、女らしく、おしとやかに、可愛く。Until then, it's like, until then is like no. Um, like marriage isn't woman-like. And then it's like,
Uh,
uh,
so this iya here is at the beginning of the sentence. It is not at the end of the sentence. So
oh,
the
really?
iya no here at the beginning of the sentence is acting as a contradiction for the previous clause, which is それまでは ya. So for first it says like up to so he's basically so the それまでは is like hard to translate, but it says to that limit, as in to the limit of becoming a cute wife is the most happiness. No, not that. Instead, he's more talking about something else. 結婚しても女らしくおとなしげに可愛く and this is being like cut off. He's not like actually finishing it because the next line is like sore, so that, which is what he's talking about. So you can just say kawaii, period, as a sentence.
Yeah, you could. So it's like getting married is like a woman-like thing, and also being a graceful lady like cute or whatever it is.
Yes. Yep. So
Yep.
even if you get married, you got to be graceful. You got to be a very ladylike, graceful, and cute.
Yeah.
So それが計算じゃないんだから、クラス一番勉強できる女、言わせより100倍頭いい. So he says, so because isn't that's what she's calculating, that makes her 100 times more smart than Iwase, who is a girl in their class who is the number one girl good at studying because
Mm.
she's not doing that same
It's a
thing.
long-term plan,
So,
even from outside of school.
yep.
Let's
Because she
see.
knows who she wants to get married to. I'll read this next one since my one was short.
Sure.
サイコだってどんな可愛くてもバカは嫌だろ? So even psycho, no matter how cute she is, if she's an idiot, you wouldn't want to date her. 反対に、イワセだって見た目も悪くないけど、好きになれなくね. So, and when we talk about this girl right here, which is Iwase, it's the opposite. Even if you look at her, she's not ugly or anything. But you wouldn't come to fall in love with her, right? And the next bubble will be for you.
確かに、女で一番成績、成績がいい、それが、あほこ、誇らしげな、and it's like 性格が嫌だ。バカだとさえ思う。 So it's like actually, or surely,
Surely.
um, yeah, uh, like to a woman, like the number one like record is like
Mhm.
getting number one in marks or your student record is like good. That
Good
is
guess. So, even though
mm,
there's a guy here stating this as a subject, this is not the topic of the sentence. The topic was Iwase. Iwase, if you look at her,
yeah.
she's not ugly or anything, but you're not gonna fall in love with her. So he goes, 確かに、俺ので一番いい席だろ. Yeah, 一番成績がいい. So what's certainly true about this Iwase person?
Having like the best marks in the class is good as a
Yep.
woman. Yep.
Specifically, she has the best grades as a woman in the class. Uh,
Mm,
so for example, if we had first place is Takagi, second place could be someone else like Bob, third place could be her, right? And he would still be the
mm.
number one of the girls. In this specific story, he's number two overall in class. Just because I
That's a
watched the anime
spoiler.
when I was a kid. Is it?
That's a spoiler.
Is it? I think it was probably like if you had a really great memory, you probably would have saw it on
Bruh.
the screen thing, right? Uh, he's not like a main character. So I guess he is kind of
Who
important.
knows?
Uh,
Yeah.
anyway, he has the best grades of all the girls.
Yep. And then it's like that's that's no like it's not
It
no, but
says
that's
I
something to be
iya.
proud of.
What does iya mean? You're right. The hokoru is to be proud of. Um, but this sentence doesn't end until iyada.
Oh, that's a character.
Mm?
Um, sorry, hang on. That's a proud character that isn't really liked, right?
Yes. Yep. I hate her. How smug. Look at her. Look at this smug look on her face.
Yeah. And then it's like Akata to Tasareo. That makes her um like that makes her stupid, I think.
That
Or
is
like dumb.
definitely 100% possibly what they're saying.
Yeah.
Bakata saya mo, which is even think it's an idiot. I
Mm.
personally would probably translate that he might think that she thinks I'm an idiot, but not because it says that in the sentence, but just because that seems more natural and like why he doesn't like her looking so smug. She
Mm.
gets good grades, but she kind of comes off as like, "Oh, praise me, I am so good and smart," and he might, even
Arrogant.
think I'm stupid. It is the only reason why I do that
Arrogant.
from that context. But who is stupid, who is thinking is not specifically listed. And with the yada does make it almost more likely it's what you translate it as. But it's both are theoretically possible. Who knows? Um,
Mm.
俺も小豆のこといいって言ったじゃん。小豆の魅力は家庭や心の豊かさ、賢賢さから生まれている品だと思うな。He said, didn't I say it? I also think Kotomi is great. Kotomi, her main charming point is that I think that she is basically a superb product born as really smart and kind and very like homey. Uh, these guys are like so rude talking to her like she's an object. She's like a good, huh?
Damn.
Damn. You guys go to jail. Next panel goes to you, Cookie.
あんにしても、あずきのこと、ベタ褒め、ベタ褒めだな。Like I feel like nishtemo here is like supposed to be a connective
It is. Even saying that is probably how I
yeah.
translate that. Even though there's no saying in the sentence, ni shitemo literally means even doing that. But that sounds weird in English
Yeah,
sometimes.
even hmm, even doing that Azuki is like you put her in high praise. You
So
give her
you're
high
just
praise.
you're just full
Yep.
of praise just for her.
うん。べた褒めしても最高は、焼きも焦りもしない。頭、頭いいからな。So it's like, uh,
So this
so
wa
I think,
here makes this that the first part of this is probably I, because otherwise it's weird to have
mm,
cycle wa there. Because wa is the topic marker, but why are we bringing up a new topic inside the middle of a sentence? Probably we had a different topic earlier on that was insinuated by context. So the earlier
I
on
think it'll be
topic
easier.
is I.
I think it'll be easier if I say it's because, I'm starting from the end here. It's because, um, like, something to do with jealous, like Psycho is like being jealous and is like
You're
impatient.
definitely not starting at the end. You're starting in the middle
Am
randomly.
I?
The
Oh,
end, right, is Shinai. If you're talking about this sentence,
fair enough.
where the period is. What does Shinai mean?
Oh, to not do, I think
To
it is.
not do. You're right. So he does not do aseri, which is from the verb aseru. What does aseru mean?
Ah, so it's like he doesn't like this Psycho guy is not being impatient and is also not
Mm-hmm.
jealous,
So.
envious.
So because of that, 頭
Uh,
いいからな.
uh, that means it's very smart or like
Yes,
just smart.
Psycho is very smart because he does
Mm.
not panic or act jealous at all. Even when what happens?
Even when Takagi puts her in high praise.
Exactly. He's not panicking, being like, "What? Why are you complimenting the girl I like?" Oh, Instead, he's just like, "Wow, yeah, why are you complimenting her so much?"
He's not
Yep.
an incel.
Yeah. やっぱり俺より全然頭いいじゃん。Takagi says he really is much smarter than I am, this Takagi Akito guy. それに、こいつの考え方。On top of that, the way this guy thinks, 囚人やっぱ最高でも焼くのか He says, Shujin, criminal. And he's like, huh? Oh, are you actually jealous? And these two panels up here will be for you, Cookie.
あ結局俺、囚人と、あ囚人と組むかもな。After all, I may um, end up working together with Takagi, which
はい。
I know from the previous pages. He nicknames himself Prisoner, which is Shujin, based on his kanji,
Yeah, because he doesn't like being
which is
called
pretty damn
cycle,
funny.
because he thinks cycle sounds like you're a psychopath.
No, I think the other one, maybe I read this wrong, but
They're
it's
both
not like he's a psychopath, but
cycle.
it is like too much praise, so to say,
Mm, true,
right?
true.
Being the
Definitely might be that.
strongest. Yeah, so he kind of feels uncomfortable with being called the best.
Mm,
Eh?
yep.
He's like,
Mm.
あ、急にそう言われると気持ち悪いな。嬉しいけど、oops, I pressed the wrong button. I need to go back a page. So it
Whoops.
says, uh, so quickly. You said that so quickly that I feel kind of bad. I'm happy though, says
Hi.
uh
So, kimochi
Shujin.
warui does mean feel bad. It has a second meaning that might sound better in English. Do you have a second idea how to translate that?
Oh shit. To feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's probably a little better in this specific context, right? It's kind of giving me the creeps when you're saying it like that all of a sudden. So "急に" does not mean fastly. It's not hayai. It's suddenly. He just kind of goes off randomly and says, "You know what? I do want to team up with you." He's like, "Oh, why? I was just complimenting the girl you like." Where's this coming up all of a sudden? なんか考え
Hmm.
方も似てるし、主人の作る話なら面白いだ。You know, somehow I feel like the way we think is pretty similar, and whatever story you make, I bet it would be quite interesting. あ、そうか、才能を認めてくれたんだ。同時二人で頑張ろう. It says, ooh, so my talent is being acknowledged. Well, both of us should try our best then. Next bubble here will be for you, Cookie. Sorry, panel.
かもって言ったろ、主人の書いたネーム、ネームが面白い、だったら、俺が絵にするってこと。Okay, I'm gonna quickly ask just to make sure. What
Mm-hmm.
does itaro mean? I feel like that's a conjugation. I don't know.
Where is it? Ittaro?
First line of that bubble.
Kamote ittaro? So,
Yeah.
ro is added to the end of things, like with daro. This
Yeah.
ro is just being added to add vagueness. So he's basically saying, didn't I?
Mm.
Is our
Didn't I
English.
say may perhaps um like Shujin no your like kaita like
Name. So it's
your
kaita name.
written your written name uh if your written name is like interesting, I
Hi.
will any sort of I will, do my drawing,
Yes, I
right?
will
I'll do
make
my drawing
drawings
thing.
for it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Hmm? Name. Oh, you want a name? あ、あれだけ漫画家が夢とか言っと、言っといて、ネームの意味も知らねえの知らねえよ. So he says, huh? Even though you want to become a manga to that extent, like you really said you really wanted it, that's what you told me, you still have no idea what a name is? I have no idea. And the next panel here will be for you, Cookie.
2時、2時間目始まったあと1時間頑張れそうか。So it's like at about, wait,
Me
2時間目 is
refers,
like 2 hours
so
ago.
no, me refers to class periods. So
Um,
first period, second period, but in this case
oh,
they're by hours.
so 2 class periods ago, is that it?
Where's the ago coming from?
The me
Me
part.
means period,
Oh,
like class
within
period.
2 class, yeah, within 2 class periods, we started, and
Hi,
after one class period,
second period starting.
oh, second period has started. After 1 hour, uh, let's do our best and keep at it.
Let's work hard for one more hour. Ah, gambaru. Yeah, let's try. Name it. What's a name? Sorry, I started reading that next part.
And it's like 自分で調べろ。どうしろと. Um, your own what? Look it up yourself, amateur.
Exactly. That's exactly what it says. And the Gambare Soka is he's saying shall we, sorry. So shall we try our best for the next hour since second period has just started? Oops.
うん。
And um I'm just like debating about when the next arc starts. Yes, I think this acts as a good like story close section because they go back to class. And so I'll stop the record.